every single time, in every single notebook, I use my Lamy 2000 with a double broad oblique nib and with Sailor 50 States, Virginia, because it's a highly sheening ink, and I feel like I'm going to see all the properties because it's a double broad. It's a very fat line, so I'm going to see shading and I'm going to see the sheen of the ink, and it will tell me a lot about the paper as well. It's such a saturated writer that I would totally see on the back if it bleeds, which it didn't. And sometimes I let friends play on the back there too, to try out the paper. I believe Endless Recorder journals are made with Tomoe River paper. Please, if I am wrong, do correct me, but that's what I have in my head. For the ink log of my bottle inks, I wanted a book that has numbered pages as well as an index. Move this over a little bit so you can see. And yes, here's my index. And my plan was to just randomly dedicate certain pages to certain inks and then just do my thing, which I will show you in a second. In this case, I started on a certain page and I kept going in sequence, which is fine. So my earlier pages are empty, so maybe I will use them with a different transcription, because that's actually what I do. I use every page with a smudge with my knife. I only fill in the page when the ink is in a pen, and the pen has to have a broad nib to show off the properties of the ink. So in this case, as you can see, it was a Birmingham Pen Company ink, the Green Weenie. Got this as a gift from a pen friend, and it is in my vintage Faber-Castell 10, which is rust colored, and the nib is a B nib. And then I just started writing. I have started this new system here. And you can actually, I'm gonna go and flip through with you before we dive into the new ink. So I picked Willa Cather's book, Death Comes for the Archbishop. I just went to my bookshelf and looked what would I feel up to transcribing, and it does not mean, please, by all means, that I will transcribe this whole book. It will not happen. I can already tell you that. 300 pages. Am I crazy? Nope. But the book is located in New Mexico, and that's how I felt so connected. And I thought, oh, that's a good one to start with. And as soon as I'm going to get bored with this book, I'm going to pick something else. And maybe it's going to be a German book. Maybe it's going to be poems. Who knows? So I have started with a Pilot Iroshizuku Kuyaku, which was a gift from a dear friend of mine. And I thought how appropriate to start it with a lovely gift from a friend. And it was very important to me to have a lot of writing on the page, and that's what I did. So I just filled the page to the bottom, and then I chose the next ink. This one is actually my favorite purple of all times, and I have put it, since I got it, into this pen, a vintage Pelikan 20 Silvexa with a B nib. Quite rare, in my opinion, that this kind of pen has a B nib. And I did my knife smudge, and I did my writing, and just filled up the page, and then the next. So getting to the Birmingham Pen Company inks, Petrified Wood here. This is an ink that I really, really enjoy. It goes on the page green, but as I write, it kind of turns really brown. It's so surprising. And of course, my all-time favorite brown here, right next to it. I've talked about it in several videos. It's Birmingham Pen Company Whiskey Rebellion Bourbon, which also at the same time started my love for Birmingham Pen Company inks. And it was a gift from a pen friend and a pen club, fellow pen club member here in Albuquerque. And I have this ink in my vintage Café Codilla with a broad oblique nib, which shows off all the properties of this amazing ink so wonderfully. And next is the Mont Blanc Lavender Purple that I put in a Lamy All-Star Tourmaline with a broad nib. And then here, my beloved Lamy 2000 double broad oblique nib, which I don't know why I didn't write that down, but oh no, I don't know when I got the ink. I do remember where I got the pen. That was in San Francisco at the Lamy flagship store, a USA flagship store, and I would not have bought a pen of that kind with a nib like that had I not been able to try it, and I fell in love really hard with this pen. And that's page 6. Page 7 is the one that oh no, I don't think I showed you. It's just it's a bit similar than this one, but the Omas green is definitely slightly different. And this is an ink that I've had for a very long time. I got it when Omas still was producing things, and it's a treasure, and it's a gorgeous bottle, and that's why let me go and show you the beautiful bottle. So this is the Omas green. I just love this. What a gorgeous bottle, right? And so, I have only 2 of the Omas inks, and the other one, which I always thought was called red or burgundy, and I just now Googled it, and it turned out it's called sepia. So they never made a red, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. I Googled it. Well, is Google always right? No, we all know that. Don't always believe Google. However, in this case, should be Omas sepia. So, another page of writing. Same book still. And now we're back to Birmingham Pen Company. In this case, Armadillo, which I put into a TWSBI Go with a broad nib. I missed out on telling you that I did put the 2 Omas inks into my 2 Omas pens. One of them, you've seen it in other inky videos, the Paragon Bronze, and this one is one that you most likely have not seen from me because I haven't used it in ages. It's an Omas 360 Blue Royale celluloid with a medium 18K nib, and all of these pens you will see soon in a currently inked video. So here, TWSBI Go, a great pen if you want to try out an ink, lovely shading. I mean, if the ink has a good shading, then the pen is good to show it off. So this is Birmingham Pen Company Armadillo. And next one, Birmingham Pen Company Waterfront Dusk. This was another one from my pen friend Jim Sanders. And I have a fake Mont Blanc, which looks like it's a double broad nib. I'm just guessing, but it's not a stub. I don't think you would classify it as a stub. So a gorgeous color, yet again, as all the Birmingham Pen Company inks are. I am in love with them. And that's why I decided to use this ink, the Birmingham Pen Company Pittsburgh Aviary Violet Starling, for my next page. And let's do the Smudgio. This is actually my favorite part. I go crazy. Okay. I put the ink in this Parker stainless steel, Parker 45 stainless steel that I've had for many, many years. I believe I found this pen at a flea market in Germany. This was also a gift from a pen friend, from my super generous pen friend, Jim. And this is Parker 45 stainless steel. And it is a broad oblique nib, I believe, for a right-handed person. It says it on the bottom. And now I will start writing, and at another time I will do a flip through the book with you to update you on my writing. I mean, you get the picture how this is going to look like. All right, thank you for watching, and I hope you're all doing well and enjoying all the inky fun that we tend to have. Bye-bye.